Hey, this is Dave again. This time in the Slot Stories series, I'm going to talk about the Carrera Trans Am. Prior to me starting at the company in 2010, they did a black one that people widely refer to as the Smokey and the Bandit car. It wasn't technically a Smokey and the Bandit car. It was just a black Trans Am. You know, it was one of those ones that's intended to come up right to the line of where you would need licensing. It's just a black car. They did use the license plate of Band 1 on it. Anyway, from year to year, what you have to do when you're thinking about what liveries to put on the mold to amortize the mold, you have some choices you can make. You can go with popularity in real life of the car, what liveries of the real car, of a street car, of a race car. A lot of the time it's just opinion. When I was thinking about what to do on the Trans Am body, one year we did a blue version with some silver stripes on it that I think the design director came up with the livery for. I don't really remember how that one came about, but it was a fictional car, I believe, just kind of a what-if kind of a car. So for this livery of this car, I chose it. I looked at the different liveries of the Trans Am that we had done, which were all street cars because the mold is only a street version. The driver of the car only is able to, and I think I can get it, you can see that the driver, the mold of the driver has a hat on it, a cowboy hat. Burt Reynolds. So every version of this car, and the honeycomb wheels. So every version of this car, because the mold of the driver was made without a top of his head and was made with the hat, every mold of the car has to have a guy with a hat on, I believe. Looked at what we had done in the past, or what they had done in the past before I got there, and clearly one of the more iconic colors of the car was gold. I had a 79 Trans Am. This is not a 79. This is a 77 or 78 maybe. 79, instead of the large openings, well, there's a number of differences, but basically, instead of the large openings, it had just rectangles where the headlights were, and then the rest of the nose was kind of closed off, so it gave you these kind of four rectangular squares. The tail lights were different. The ridges, the ribs on the tail lights went the entire way across. The license plate wasn't in the middle. As you can see, the license plate is on the middle in this car, in between the lights. And the real car, there we go. In the real car, it wasn't there. I believe it was lower and on the bumper. And where the license plate is on this car, on the real one, that would have been where you filled it with gas. So you would have flipped it down or up. Either way, the one I had was a 79 and had the ridges the entire way across. And you opened a little hatch, and that hatch broke off, and you had to find another one in the junkyard or pay Pontiac a lot of money for that crappy little door, that plastic door, red plastic about this long, painted silver. Anyway, and it screwed on. The little nub on the back was plastic. God, why do I remember this? This car was based on the one that I drove. It was my second car. I had a 76 Camaro. A blue car was my first car that I ever owned, and this one was my second. Or not this one, but the real one was my second. I bought it in Tyrone, Pennsylvania at a junkyard. It had been wrecked, and they put the front end back together. They found just a regular Firebird hood, so mine didn't have the shaker hood, unfortunately. All the body panels were all cattywampus on it. It was kind of nasty and rough, but it was loud, and it was gold, and it was fun. This was the first car that my wife and I dated in. We were in college at Penn College of Technology. It's a Penn State branch campus now. So when we started dating, this was the car I owned, a gold 79 Trans Am. So one thing that sticks out as being kind of peculiar about this car is the license plate. And you can see, well, you can't see because this is not good content. This is a GoPro and it won't refocus. The license plate is a Pennsylvania license plate, TMD 434. Why did we use that license plate on the Carrera car? TMD 434. That was my license plate in college, and as you can see, it was last registered in 1997. If you look really closely at the car, at the license plate, on the lower left-hand side, you can see a little black sticker on the license plate. Same one as on the actual plate. Anyway, so that's how we came to do that. That's how we came to do this car. There's a lot of these kinds of stories, some of which I'll talk about in future videos, where when you do a car, you kind of have an opportunity to have fun with it, and put in a little thing that you may know or someone else at the company may know, something that's special to you. And the car is just a slot car. It's a Gold Trans Am. It sold very well for us because everybody likes the Gold Trans Am. Everybody liked the black Trans Am. When you do these little projects, you get to be able to put something fun and special in like that, that you know about, or your friends know about, or in this case your wife knows about. 25 years on, she's the one for me. Anyway, I do want to include a note about the last Trans Am that they did. It was the black one. It was the second version of a black Trans Am with a gold bird on it, gold trim. That was the project that I was working on the day that I got let go at Carrera. That morning, I was emailing back and forth between myself and the design director, and getting the specs of the colors and some details that I wanted to include. We got the bird that was correct, looking the correct way on the hood, looking with the correct lining. Each year that they made the Trans Am, they changed the bird. Well, maybe not each year. Many years that they made the Trans Am. The birds on the car, the birds here, the Trans Am on the back, the lettering, the fonts, they changed certain things each year. The first version that Carrera had done, I believe the bird is incorrect technically for that body shape. The last one that we did, the second version where the driver is wearing, I believe he's wearing a blue shirt, that was one of the things that I specified. I wanted to make the car a little different so people that already had the first black Trans Am, the collectors out there, would still buy the second version because it would be different enough that they would still want to have the second version even though they already had the first version. So, how do you do that and not piss off collectors, and also offer a black Trans Am that people who have been asking for the black Trans Am for years, and there were a lot of them. There were a lot of people that wanted to buy the black version. Why won't you re-release it? Companies generally don't re-release cars. It's very rare that a company will make a run of a car and then rerun it. Once a car is run, it's done. Unless it's a car that's in a set, there's no such thing as rerun almost all the time, in my experience working at the companies I've worked at. You tend to run the car and it's done. Like I said, I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. Black Trans Am that I was working on that morning, I wanted to be different enough, so I changed the license plate. License plate is eastbound, ESTBND. Eastbound and down, brother. Loaded up and trucking. So that and we changed the driver's shirt color, so it was different enough from the first version. And like I said, I believe it was blue, and I think the first version was probably red. And we got the bird looking the correct way. I pushed send on the email, and 5 minutes later I got let go. So there you are. I don't have that version of Black Trans Am for obvious reasons, But I do have the gold one because it's special to me. And hopefully my wife too. But she doesn't really care about slot cars. So anyway, that's this slot story. If you like these videos, please let me know down below in the comments. And as always, please feel free to share the videos wherever you'd like. The share button is enabled. Please subscribe and leave comments below if there's cars that you'd like to hear me maybe talk about or even review maybe. Just leave the comments below, and until next time, thanks a lot, and I really appreciate everyone subscribed and everyone that continues to watch these rambling stories of me sitting here in a gray shirt between two lights talking to you about toy cars.